our state continues to battle really a budget crisis. Initially, Governor Mary Fallin told us to brace for about a $600 million budget hole, but now our state's budget problem is a lot worse, $870 million in the fiscal trenches. Joining us now to talk about this is our state treasurer, Ken Miller. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, good morning.
We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah, good morning to you too. Want to start with this. How was this year's budget shortfall predicted so incorrectly? We went from $600 million to now nearly $900 million.
Well, I don't know that it was predicted different than it actually came out. We have the first prediction in December, and that's when the first look at the numbers comes out. So anything before that was really just kind of a guess based on feel, but the first estimate was in December, and as you said, it's close to $900 million.
So the $600 million that we initially heard was not really based on figures. It was just kind of a guess, and then the $900 million figure is the actual.
Right. Honestly, I think the governor was just kind of asked, off the cuff what she thought, and then it became quite a story. But there wasn't an estimate until December. Yeah.
So how do we know this $900 million is the right number?
Well, it's the first estimate. We'll have a second estimate in February, and so the governor will build her executive budget on this estimate. But we'll look at it again to get the latest figures in February, and then we'll have the second and final estimate for the legislature to build their budget on.
Okay. So next month we'll get kind of another update.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then you, as our state treasurer, what exactly is your role in the budget, and what are you doing right now? I know the legislative session, but what are you doing right now to work on the budget and trying to fix some of this?
Right. Our primary goal is to protect and grow what we do have, and then help dispense those as directed by the legislature. Of course, I advise the executive branch, the governor, and the legislature on best practices, on things that we think that they ought to do. We do have a revenue problem in Oklahoma right now, and one of the messages that I've been trying to get out is that we have to stop our dependency on non-recurring sources of revenue and structurally balance our budget.
What would be a couple of examples of those?
Well, each year, at least for the last since I've been in office, really, we've become dependent on non-recurring sources of revenue or one-time sources that aren't those sources that we depend on, like income tax, sales tax, motor vehicle. They're really money that you find in revolving funds, or as we call under the couch cushion, so to speak. We've got to stop that and get back to where we depend on our main sources of revenue that come back every year and replenish those state coffers, like income, sales, motor vehicle, and gross production taxes.
And that gets me to this, because this is a lot of money. $900 million.
Yeah.
How is this going to affect me? How's this going to affect you, the everyday citizen who's watching right now? Because this money has to come from somewhere.
It is, and of course, it will be made up probably with some new sources of revenue that the legislature will have to come to terms with. The governor has proposed several. One is raising the cigarette tax. Another that she has proposed is expanding the sales tax into some services like most other states. But it is going to have to involve some cuts to agencies as well. And that's another thing that we really have to do better. We have got to fund better our core functions that our citizens depend on, like education, like roads and bridges, public safety, and public health.
We got a lot of viewer questions about this because people, as I'm sure you can understand, people are upset. They pay taxes and they want to know where their money's going. Want to get to this question from Stephen. We are a state that has the lowest paid teachers but high property taxes. We have crumbling roads and bridges, hurting infrastructure. Where is our tax money going? Where is it?
Well, we do need to pay teachers better. There's no question. There is a renewed focus on that thanks to the state question, and that's a good thing because we have to do better. But we also have to have revenue to do that. Now, I know when we pay our property taxes, it feels like they're really high, but as far as comparing to other states, they're rather low. They're 48, 49 out of 50 as far as our burden on property taxes. It is our sales tax that's actually high.
Okay.
It's in the top 5 in the country in sales tax. Our income tax is about the median range at about at 5%. So we do pay a lot of taxes, but we also have a lot of services that have to be provided as well. And so somewhere we have to find the balance between the right mix of taxation that will properly fund those core functions that our economy foundation is built on, like education and roads and bridges, and also that our citizens depend on, like public health and public safety.
It seems to me that there's got to be some overspending somewhere because there's money going somewhere.
Yeah.
Would you say our legislators are overpaid? I mean, so where's the money going?
Well, I tell you, there's a lot of efficiencies that can be had, but one of the silver linings of the Great Recession that we went through when I was the budget chair in the State House was that we did have a lot of forced efficiency. In other words, things that we didn't want to do when times were good, but we had to get better at when times weren't good. So that was a silver lining. So we went through a lot of forced efficiencies. There are still efficiencies left to be had, but the ones that are left are hard. They're politically difficult to achieve, and so far the legislature has not wanted to touch those. A pension reform is something that we've been good at as far as reforming cost of living adjustments and shoring up some of our pension problems, but we're still very inefficient at the way that we administer our pensions. We pay $100 million a year just to administer our pensions before we pay 1 penny of benefit, and that's because we have 7 independent systems that run with their own boards, their own buildings, and their own administrative staff. That's crazy. We can do better, but so far the governor and I have not been able to convince the legislature to tackle that one.
I like what you said. We can do better. When I was talking with viewers about this interview, that seems to be the common thread, and it seems that you agree on some of these. We have a lot of viewer questions. Going to have you stick around for another segment because want to get some of these questions answered. So on the other side of this break, we'll get back to those questions.